What if the marriage you're ready to give up on today could become your greatest love story tomorrow? There was a time when Raka and Nisa couldn't remember the last time they laughed together. Their home was filled with silence. Not the peaceful kind, the painful kind. Every conversation became an argument. Dirty dishes, unpaid bills, parenting. Tiny problems turned into emotional battles, leaving invisible scars on both of their hearts. Then one night, after another heartbreaking fight, they sat across from each other at the dining table. Between them lay a stack of divorce papers. Neither of them cried. Sometimes the deepest pain is the one that leaves no tears. They had convinced themselves that love had died, that walking away was easier than trying again. But before they signed those papers, a close friend said something they would never forget. Stop trying to change each other. Start changing the way you listen. It sounded too simple, too small, too late, but with nothing left to lose, they decided to try. Just 30 days. Every evening, they spent 15 uninterrupted minutes together. No phones, no shouting, no interrupting, no reopening old wounds. And before going to sleep, each of them had to say one thing they appreciated about the other. The first few nights felt painfully awkward. Sometimes they stared at the floor. Sometimes neither of them knew what to say. But little by little, silence turned into conversation. Conversation became understanding. And understanding slowly healed what anger never could. Raka finally realized that Nisa wasn't complaining because she wanted to fight. She was simply carrying more than anyone could see. Nisa realized that Raka hadn't stopped loving her. He simply didn't know how to express the emotions buried beneath years of stress and disappointment. Something beautiful began to happen. They stopped keeping score. They started washing dishes together, laughing over little mistakes, saying "I'm sorry" before pride had the chance to speak. The house hadn't changed. The people inside it had. 30 days later, the divorce papers that once represented the end were torn into pieces. Not because life had suddenly become perfect, but because they finally understood that marriage isn't about finding the perfect partner. It's about choosing the same imperfect person, again, and again, and again. Today, they still disagree sometimes. They still have difficult days. But now they fight for each other, instead of against each other. Because the strongest marriages aren't the ones without conflict. They're the ones where two hearts refuse to stop choosing love. So if your relationship feels broken today, don't let one difficult season convince you that your story is over. Sometimes the miracle you're praying for doesn't begin with a grand gesture. It begins with 15 quiet minutes, one sincere apology, one grateful heart, and one decision to love again. Because love isn't something you find once. It's something you choose every single day.